Aviak Brandt and Jens Yeltsin raised Greenland's flag outside the U.S. consulate in Greenland's capital, Nuuk. Every day this week, their small group of protesters will set off before dawn to this same spot to say no to U.S. President Donald Trump's plan to acquire their homeland.
I'm here to put a flag, our flag, in front of the consulate for United States to show Donald Trump and to show the world that the only flag that belongs in Greenland is our flag.
This gathering, though small, reflects a broader groundswell of patriotism. Thousands of Greenlanders have already taken to the streets to say their island, a Danish territory, is not for sale. And some European countries have backed Denmark's sovereignty by sending in troops, part of a Danish-led NATO military exercise.
Wow, that's a big crowd. That's a lot of people. I think it's like a record.
But Trump isn't backing down. He says the U.S. needs Greenland for its security, and that he thinks Greenlanders will be, quote, thrilled for their island to come under U.S. control. His threat to put extra punitive tariffs on European countries opposed to his annexation plans is straining the NATO alliance, and now bringing counter-threats from Europe and a freezing of a U.S.-EU trade deal. But on Tuesday, before heading to Switzerland for the World Economic Forum in Davos, Trump told reporters he foresees a good outcome.
We have a lot of meetings scheduled on Greenland. I'm leaving tonight, as you know, for Davos. And we have a lot of meetings scheduled on Greenland. And I think things are going to work out pretty well, actually.
Outside the White House, not everyone shares that optimism. All three big Wall Street indexes ended well down Tuesday. And some market watchers say Greenland, along with other moves by the Trump administration, is why.
So the potential for real decline, and that's the big question right now. Are we at a moment that's a tipping point where the market says enough? That's it. Greenland on the back of Maduro, immigration issues, Fed pressures, Gaza peace board where he's the chairman. Is this the moment?
And U.S. allies are firm about Greenland. Some allied leaders are simply holding their ground for now.
I think what's important, we must defend our principles. We must defend our interests without being aggressive. We are not. While making sure we are respected, which is what we're doing, but without being intimidated either, and we will protect all our producers.
But others are suggesting that the world order has now reached its breaking point, with whatever that might imply for future ties with powers like the U.S.
Of course, nostalgia is part of our human story, but nostalgia will not bring back the old order. And playing for time and hoping for things to revert soon will not fix the structural dependencies we have.
Let me be direct. We are in the midst of a rupture, not a transition. Over the past 2 decades, a series of crises in finance, health, energy, and geopolitics have laid bare the risks of extreme global integration. But more recently, great powers have begun using economic integration as weapons, tariffs as leverage.
With tensions over Greenland testing old alliances, the talks that happen at this year's World Economic Forum could be consequential. And, as some leaders say, point to whether the world order really is rupturing. Andy Hsueh and John Van Trieste for TaiwanPlus.